It's Ross back with another Jiu Jitsu Oracle, giving you all of the news as it comes out heading into CJI 2, and it looks like we now know the full Team America's lineup for that event. Team America is coached by Greg Souders on Craig's most recent Road to CJI 2 video on YouTube, which you should all go and check out. Craig was talking with Greg, and Greg gave out the 5 names that are going to make up his team. So at the lighter weights, we have the Corbe brothers, both students of Greg at Standard Jiu-Jitsu. Gavin Corbe is going to take the under 66 slot, and then Deandre is going to be in at under 77. Originally, I thought maybe Deandre was going to do under 66, but Greg said that can be a tough weight for Deandre to mate, and by Gavin taking that slot at under 66, it frees up Deandre to compete at under 77. While he can mate 66, I think Greg says it's tricky enough that he only wants to do it like once a year. So 77 might be a better weight for Deandre to compete at. Both the brothers compete really, really well. Really good performances recently at Zapatero, where Deandre won the $100,000 first prize, beating Diego Pato and then Josh Cisneros. But also in that tournament, Gavin had a good performance against Diego Pato and also beat Jet Thompson. So they're really well-rounded. I think they're a good addition to the team. They're going to be tough to beat, and they definitely have potential to submit someone along the way. Under 88 kilograms, Elijah Dorsey. I think he's a good addition to the team. He's shown up well against elite competitors such as Mika Galvao and Tynan Dalpra. Love his top game, love his passing, and good all round. So I think he's a solid addition to the lineup, and if I was trying to put together this team off the bat, he would be one of the names that I was considering. So because we've now got Elijah under 88, that means Taylor Pearman is moving up to under 99. So Taylor's the wild card in Team Americas. He went to the final of the European trials, where he was beaten in a controversial match against Paul Ardilla. Paul took the wildcard slot on Team Europe, but then after the event happened, they found a way to get Taylor involved in the tournament, and Taylor has been added to Team America. Originally, I think at 88, but he's going to move up. It seems every athlete's kind of moved up one weight class, with Gavin coming in at the lightest weight, Deandre then moving up to 77, Elijah at 88 as expected, but then that's like nudged up Taylor to under 99. So Taylor is a huge submission threat. I think it'll be really interesting to see him at a slightly heavier weight. Interesting for Taylor that perhaps he would have done under 77 at one point to be on Team Europe, and now it looks like he's going to be at under 99 for Team Americas. And then at the over 99 slot, the biggest weight division, there's Pat Downey, good wrestler. At the last CJI, we saw him beat Luke Rockhold, and then he lost to Adam Bradley. I think with Pat, his best use maybe to go in and take out someone. I think less likely for him to get a submission victory over someone compared to like the submission skills of a Taylor Pearman, but could make himself very hard to beat and could potentially take out like one of the top athletes on the other team. Under quintet rules, if you win by submission, you stay on. If there's a draw, you both go out. So I think that's where Pat's use could come into the team. So we now know the 5 guys, 2 Corbe brothers, Elijah Dorsey, Taylor Pearman, and Pat Downey. Even although it's Team Americas, there are no South Americans in the squad. So I think at this point, they should just go with Team America. We will see some South Americans take part in the competition, such as Victor Hugo on B team, but there are some notable South Americans who will not be taking part, such as Mika Galvao and Diego Pato and Tynan Dalpra. So this team, not going to have any South American influence at all. All Americans apart from Taylor Pearman, right? Who's English. So I think they should just go with the name Team America. I think overall it's a solid lineup. I think they will be hard to beat. I don't see them in amongst the top teams. I've still got B Team and New Wave and Atos as my favorites, but I think the Team America here, along with the likes of PSF and Team Australasia, they've definitely got the talent level where they could progress through a round or 2, maybe even cause a shock. I just don't see them going deep. But you let me know in the comments what you think of how this team is comprised and what you think their chances overall are in the tournament. They've also got coach Greg Souders to consider. Greg, I would imagine, is taking this event seriously, and he'll be looking at it through an analytical lens. So I think he would be a good guy to have making the decisions for this team, deciding what order they go in, who matches up against who, etc. And it'll also be interesting to see, I think he wanted to get the athletes together to train before the event. So we'll see if that happens, if we get any content from it, and how the guys that are not part of his gym at Standard find the training that they do under Greg. So yeah, that's Team America's for the event. I think the only question marks left around about teams are New Wave have still got to fill their under 77 slot. And last I kind of heard would be that it might be at internal trials to decide that, because they have a few contenders such as Oliver Taza, Jason Nolf, and Davis Asari, who could take it. Thinking about it, might lean to just giving the slot to Taza. He's the most established name on the team at that weight. He's been there the most. He's competed the most for New Wave, and he's probably got the most submission threat out of those guys. And plus, he's really, really hard to submit if he does get paired up against someone who's heavier than him. So I would just lean to give it to him, but it's Coach John Danaher's decision to make. And then there are still some questions around about the Atos team. On the last Jiu Jitsu Oracle, I talked about how it looks like Cade Rutolo with a knee injury, and his brother Ty Rutolo, who's going to fight MMA for 1 just the week after CJI 2, won't be in the event. So that leaves the door open for other people in the Atos ranks to take those slots. So I think there's still question marks over the Atos team. I kind of suggested, I think it looks like Gabriel Souza could be in at under 66 because he's been training there. And then I think under 77 could be Andy Murasaki or Ronaldo Jr. Under 88, probably Hulk if he can make the weight. And then Kynan Doherty under 99. And then their wildcard, Felipe Pena, at over 99. But wait for Andre Belvao to confirm that team. That all said, one team that has basically been confirmed by Coach Greg Souders is Team America. So how do you think that team looks? What about each individual pick, and what about the team's chances overall? Get into the comments on YouTube and let me know what you think, and I will do my best to get back to them all. And then the Jiu Jitsu Oracle will be back in the near future with previews, reviews of all the big events that are coming up. We have a WNO, we have UFC, BJJ, a BJJ Stars, and then obviously CJI 2